Hello, people. Welcome. I see a couple of guys joining in. Let us give, let's say, 30 seconds for people to at least get the notification saying that chief has gone live. So we can wait for 10 15 seconds and then we can start. Hi, Alia. Hello, guys. So let's just give, let's say, 10 more seconds so that people can understand that tap chief has gone live. All right, guys. I heartily welcome all of you who joined us today. And yeah, I think we're good to go. I'll start off. First thing, I would like to thank Tapchi for inviting me over to their account and sharing my experience about what I do and what basically can help a lot of people out there. I'm guessing a lot of people who are on Tapchi are already entrepreneurs or freelancers who want to understand how or what they can do to go to the next level of success. Now, for people who don't know me, I am Silawath Irshad. I am the host of the Growth Mindset podcast. Now, the Growth Mindset podcast is a podcast wherein I interview world-class leaders. It could be CEOs, founders, artists, basically experts from their own industries, and they come onto my podcast and they share their story as to how they were able to achieve this level of success, what were their hacks, what were the mindset all about, what were some practical tips, because end of the day, right, you just don't need some philosophical ideas. You need some practical tips that you can invent or you can implement in your lives to make sure that you go to the next level. So that is what I do. That is what I do on my podcast. Today, I've interviewed a lot of people. When it comes to as a guest, I've interviewed some of the people like I could say first thing Tap Chief CEO Sashank Mulli himself, and I interviewed Dave Matson. I've interviewed Zach Friedman, who is the best-selling author of the book The Lemonade Life, and he has quite amazing story. I've interviewed artists like Zayn and Zuhaib Ali, who are singers. Then I've also interviewed people like Shweta Mehta, who is a winner of Rolling. So people from different industries, they come in onto the podcast and they share their story and some practical tips that people can learn from. Now, talking about this topic that we have today, right? Self-improvement and how to build a personal brand. Now, let me tell you first thing, something which is really important. Self-improvement and self-improvement and let's say the personal brand are two different things. First thing, anything that you're starting today, let's say it could be any business, first thing that will obviously come in picture is going to be the self-improvement. Now I know people have a lot of notion when it comes to self-improvement, saying self-improvement is this, self-improvement is that. It's like one of the most overused word of the last 2 decades, I would say. But there are some things, for you to even build a personal brand or to go to the next level to make sure your product or your service stands out, you need to make sure that first you are inspired by yourself, right? Because you can't go outside the world and think, you're going to inspire a million other people out there. First thing, you're going to make sure that you are motivated by yourself, you are doing the right work, so that down the lane tomorrow when you go, you can have this impact outside. So to make it easier for you guys, I'll divide this into 2 parts, self-improvement first, and how to build your personal brand, I'll divide it into the next phase. So talking about the first part, self-improvement, so that you guys, these are some basically tips and tricks that I've learned from the best in the market today, from different industry verticals. As I said, the CEOs, CFOs, these are some top 3 advices that I've received from people, and I'm going to share these practical tips so that if you implement this in your lives, I can assure you that you will achieve whatever level of success you desire, right? Now, let's talk about self-improvement, right? When it comes to self-improvement, there are top 3 things that you should work upon, 3 practical tips. I'll tell that you guys should maybe write down if you want to, because that would really help you. So I would divide this into, let's say, you could say DJP. DJP, okay? It's not BJP, guys, it's DJP. Now, D here, what most of the people have recommended me over and over again, all the founders, CEOs, is D stands for discipline. Now, discipline is something which normally I divide this into 2 types. The first one is enforced discipline, and the second one is self-discipline, right? There are two kinds. Now, people can take these kind of discipline. Now, either people will enforce discipline on you. Enforce discipline is nothing but people enforcing discipline on you from the external factor. For example, companies. A classic example is companies. Most of the people right now, right, be it, let's say we're working, we're 9 to 5 jobs, they hate their jobs, to be honest. They literally hate it. But they still do it. Why? Because they know they're getting a paycheck that is helping them pay the bills. But you need to also understand that these guys, the reason they hate their jobs is because the companies are telling them what to do, right? And imagine, that's why we hate it. We don't have the freedom, but the only reason we are continuously working for a 9 to 5 job is because of that factor, to make sure that we get the pay slip. And that is why most people resent working for a full-time company, but still they do it anyways. That is called as enforced discipline. Now, again, the second part, the second type of discipline is the self-discipline, which is the more difficult one, wherein you have to make sure that you are disciplined in yourself, which takes a lot of work. It's a constant work that you gotta do on yourself, right? You could read books, attend seminars. That's something that will happen over and over again when you make sure that you enforce yourself. There is a very good saying by Jocko Willink, right? He's a Navy SEALs officer, and he said, discipline, self-discipline is actually freedom. Now, for people who understand this, there is a lot of things to take away from here. Self-discipline is freedom. Now, you could choose either one of these two kind of discipline. Now, by default, you guys are gonna go out of these one. Either you're gonna be enforced discipline by some external factor to make sure do whatever you're doing, you're gonna continue doing it, or you can become self-disciplined and plan as to how you want to move forward. Now, obviously, all of you want to become self-disciplined. So, what are some practical tips that will help you become self-disciplined? All right. So, this is a practical tip that I've heard from a very one of my mentors, Tim Ferriss, wherein he says, as soon as you wake up, guard the first 2 hours of your day. The first 2 hours. Why? The reason is simple. The moment you wake up, the first 2 hours of the day are the most crucial because you are releasing more of oxytocin and your brain are in the alpha waves, right? Which is really, you're high in attention, you are listening more, you're able to grasp things more. Now, what we do, most of the people do outside, as soon as we wake up, we have a phone right by our side, take the phone. That's the worst thing you can do to yourself. Do not touch your phone for the first 2 hours of your day as soon as you wake up. This is an advice that I've implemented in myself, in my own life, and I've seen it doing wonders. What it will do, first thing, as soon as you wake up, I'll give you 2 or 3 things that you can do, which will help you greatly as soon as you wake up. First thing, as soon as you wake up, make your bed. Remember, first 2 hours, guard it. Second tip is to make sure as soon as you wake up, you're making your bed. Make sure if you have a wife or your kids, don't worry about it. You do your work. You get up before you go into washroom or brush or something. Make your bed first. There is a science behind making bed as soon as you wake up. The reason being, as soon as you do something, some work that gives you satisfaction in the morning, you release oxytocin hormones, which are basically the pleasure hormones. Now, the more you release pleasure hormone, the better it will become for you. You will get that sense of accomplishment in the beginning of the day itself. That, oh wow, I woke up and I got it done. I've got one work done, which will help you build a keystone habit. A keystone habit is where if you wake up, if you do something good about it, and you know that you're feeling good, right? You feel like, okay, man, what else can I do now? What is next amazing thing that I can do? I can do more. I can achieve more, and you start becoming more productive and proactive. So make sure as soon as you wake up, first thing that you do is make your bed. Again, I'll repeat this because it's very crucial. Guard the first 2 hours, and the first thing you do when you wake up is to make your bed. Right? That's the first thing. Now, I will go to the second topic. I said, right? First one was the self-discipline, and a practical tip to self-discipline is gonna be through guarding the first 2 hours and making sure you start your day right by making the bed. That's the first practical tip. Now, going back to the second tip, I said DJP, right? Remember this acronym. Remember these 3 letters, DJP. D for discipline, J J stands for journalism. Now, I don't mean journalism. You gotta start writing for some publishing company. No, the reason that what you should be doing when it comes to journalism, as soon as you wake up, you made your bed, you can go to the washroom, clean your face, brush, whatever you want to do, but make sure within the next 15 or 20 minutes, you have a book and a paper right by your side. You can make this right near your bed or on a table or something, but make sure within the first 15 or 20 minutes of you waking up, make sure that you're journaling, whatever you're doing. Get a book out, and this is something that I do. When it comes to, I journal twice a day, once in the morning and once in the night. So just to give you some tips, how journaling could help you. There is a lot of Harvard-based reviews and research done on the power of journaling. And I mean, if you go outside and search the power of journaling, you will get like 10, 15, 100 different reasons of why you should start. The reason being, you become more self-aware as to what is happening, what is not happening, and what you can correct. Now, what I do in my journaling, first thing I start off with writing, what are you grateful for? Or what am I grateful for? Right? As soon as I wake up, I take my journal out, I start writing. What am I grateful for? I write down top 3 things as to what I'm grateful for. Now, whenever you are writing top 3 things, right, make sure it could be as simple as, you being alive, you being able to breathe, your lungs are fine, you have eyes to you see, like as simple as that. But why you need to do it? There's a reason. Again, whenever you think you're grateful for something, right, you release more pleasure hormones. It could be oxytocin, dopamine. This increase your the psychology of your brain, as well as the feeling good factor increases in your brain, so that you understand, okay, this is what is happening and this is actually nice. So make sure every single day you do journaling, once in the morning, once in the night. When you start up in the morning, you can start. There are 3 things that I write, which you can also follow if you want to. What am I grateful for? Top 3 things. Then I write down, what would I like to accomplish today? Top 3 tasks. The most important task. Don't write don't fill your calendar with 10 different things, because if you don't finish those 10 different things by the end of the day, you will feel pathetic. So the job here is not to make you feel pathetic. The job here is to make sure that you like what you do, you're loving what you do. You should feel happy about yourself. So make sure top 3 things you write down in journaling. First thing, grateful for. Second, what are the top 3 things you'd like to accomplish for the day? Write down those. Make sure you are working on those, right? And the third thing, which basically you can, which again I believe is very important, is daily affirmations. Affirmation, right? What are affirmations? Affirmations are nothing but you actually believing what you say, right? Like, I'm good, or I'm a great communicator, I'm a great salesman. Something that you personally believe about yourself and believe it, right? So write down, say at least 3 top affirmations about yourself. It could be, for example, I write, I am more kind and compassionate. So the more you the more you do this, right, to yourself, the more you will believe it. And once you start believing it, you start acting like it. Again, these are some science-based hacks that people are doing, all the successful people are doing outside. So why are we not doing it? Right? This is very important, guys. So make sure that you do this. Make sure you are journaling every single thing that you do, because that is going to have a very, very, very major impact on your future success. So, right, journaling, as you remember, as soon as you wake up, top 3 things that you write down, those 3 questions. And at the end of the day, you write down again. You again take your journal out before you go to the bed, take it out, and then you start the next 3 questions. You can write down 3 amazing things that happened today. Right? Now, what will this do? This will basically help you to understand or become more self-aware as to what were the nice things that happened today. Right? Most often than not, what happens is we forget some amazing things that happened today, and we go to the bed tomorrow, we have no idea what were some really good things that happened last week or last month. So if you write down some 3 best things that happened today, what this will do is, first thing, before you go to bed, whenever you're thinking about some really good things that happened today, you will feel happy. Oh man, like this was nice. I met that person. I spoke to one of my mentors. This person had a random act of kindness. This will put you in a good mood before you even go to the bed, right? This will instill that in your memory. First thing is that. Second question that you can write after top 3 things, amazing thing you've done. This is something that I personally incorporated in my journal. is what did I learn today, right? This could be like, again, it does not have to be something out of the box, extraordinary. Like I've learned, what does rockets do, outer space? No, no. It can be as simple as I've learned something that you realize, self-realization. It could be I've learned that I should not talk or abuse while I'm talking. Right? This is something that you can understand about yourself. So make sure whatever you're learning, it could be as simple as when you're working in the office and you realize something that your boss said that you actually liked, right? Write that thing down. So basically, I write down saying, I learned about psychology, how brain works, what are the hacks between what does if I learned about body language, so I'll write down, okay, I learned this about body language. For example, there is also yesterday while I was reading a book, I learned a new word, rake, RAKE, right? So I wrote that thing down. Why? The reason being, if I write that thing down, I will remember that word inside my brain to make sure that that there's something that I'm learning on every single day. I'm not missing out on anything. So make sure the second thing that you write, second question that you answer on your journal at the end of the day is about what did you learn, and last, what could have made my day better. Now, the reason why we are journaling here in the first place is to make sure that you are or we are becoming more self-aware of what we are doing. That's the main intention. If you become self-aware, all of our problems will actually go sideways. So self-awareness is the key, and the best way to become self-aware by all the industry experts out there is journaling. So do not, keep this aside. Journaling is a very important habit, and try to keep it before, as I said, as soon as you wake up, make sure within the first 30 minutes you're starting and journaling. Okay, somebody said my voice is cracking. Let me just check. All right, guys, is this better? Please let me know if my voice is still cracking so that I can correct it if there's something wrong. Meanwhile, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask your questions, and I would definitely be more than happy to answer those questions for you guys. So feel free to ask me questions if you have any. All right. Now, going to the third tip, I said, right, when it comes to self-improvement, DJP are the three letters that you should remember. D for discipline, J for journaling, and P. Now, what does P stand for? Even I don't know. I'll have to check. So I made a note of all the things that I wanted to discuss because I wanted to make sure that all the tips that I give are relevant to you. So I made notes as to what are the things that I want to give. Awesome. Okay, I'm hearing from people that it's clear. Awesome, perfect. So if you guys feel that there is some problem in the voice, please let me know so that I can correct those things, right? Awesome. Now, going to the third practical tip for self-improvement, and that is priority. I mean, all of us know this, right? Priorities. First thing, what you gotta understand when it comes to self-improvement is you gotta make yourself the number one priority. I cannot emphasize more on this. Like, if you literally let other people walk over you, they will walk all over you. If you let other people's opinions and suggestions or advice get into your brain and then you leave your own path, again, you're not going to be successful because you will be a people pleaser person. You don't want to become a people pleaser. You want to be who you are, for what you are. So before you even embark on a journey of self-improvement or you start your own business, what you gotta make sure is you gotta make yourself and your vision the number one priority. How can you make yourself the number one priority? First, write down who you are. What do you want with your life? What do you want to accomplish in your life? I mean, if you don't have that information, not just us or not just any world-class leader, even if Bill Gates come to you and wake you up, you'll not be inspired. Why? Because you yourself are not inspired. So make sure to do anything with regards to self-improvement. You're doing it on yourself. You're working on yourself. Let me just share my own story. Okay, this is something which I normally don't do, but I think I should do this because people can relate to this, and a lot of people can also benefit from this story. Now, a lot of people know me. For people who know me, they understand that I'm from an engineering background. I've done my engineering, and back in the days when I was doing computer science engineering in Bangalore, so there is this university called as VTU, Vishweshwara Technological University. So they have a rule in the system saying if you do not clear your second year exam, you cannot go to the third year, right? So that means you need to clear the second year before you enter the third year. Now, what happened in my case was I had a backlog that I did not clear, right? And that backlog I was not able to clear. There was some, unfortunately, I was not able to even attend the exam, because of which I could not clear that exam. Now, I did not clear that exam. That means I cannot go to third year. I will have to sit 1 year at home, clear the exam, and only then I'll be allowed to, write or attend the third level of engineering, third year of engineering. And there are a lot of things that are happening in my personal life now. Financially, from our from my family background, we were not very strong. Okay, we were financially really struggling, and my dad was also physically, he was very, very weak. We had some, he had health issues. He was on dialysis twice a week. Work was not happening. Like literally, we were struggling to get food on the table, and a lot of things were happening. But at this time, right, what am I doing? I'm in college second year. I'm enjoying going out with my friends, not being aware of what is happening at home, and I was just making fun of, I was just making, I was just living life. But then when I got a year back, and when I came back to when I came back home, I told my parents saying, this is what happened. I got a year back. I have to sit at home. My dad, right, we don't have money, and he was actually paying every year 1.5 lakhs as my fees to the college. Now imagine, like, how stupid of me, right? He's somehow begged, borrowing money from people, listening from people, and paying my education. And I'm here outside, going outside, having fun, spending money right, left, and center, and just enjoying life. Because I was not aware of what is happening in my home. I chose to be oblivious to that fact. But then once I got a year back, I came back home. I told this is what happened, and after a month or so, I realized, how like crazily in debt we are, and how we are actually struggling at home to even get food on the table. It was difficult for me to even understand, like, what can I do. I decided that, okay, I have a 1 year gap. I'll make it productive. I'll go and work at a company, earn some money so that I could help my dad out during my education. During my third year, I could pay some fees, and I go for interviews. I go to domestic call centers. Imagine domestic call centers. I'm going there. I'm third year, a year back student, and whenever I interview, the at least 10 or 15 different people, different companies that I did not get shortlisted in any. Like literally everybody said no to me on my face. And the worst thing that they told was, your grammar is all over the place. Your grammar is bad. Your vocabulary is bad. I mean, you can't, we can't have you as a call center agent in a company like Vodafone or Airtel. And what they were paying is 7,000. The only amount that they had to pay was 7,000. Now it hits me that my father is paying for my education approximately 1.5 lakhs every year. We don't have money. He's in deep financial trouble. And what am I doing? I'm not able to even get a job for 7,000. It was crazy. And then that's when I realized that man, this is not happening. I need to change the course of my life. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be a random person with no goals and dreams, and I would never see what true success is all about. So I don't know, because of the family issues at home, because I wanted to provide for my family, that inspired me to work on myself. I started listening to podcasts. I started reading books to improve my vocabulary. I started watching English movies so that I could understand how they're talking and how I can communicate well. I started attending free webinars. Any single place that I got my hands on, I was there to make sure that I learned something from it. I started writing those things down. And meanwhile, I started also doing side by side some events wherein I used to travel back and forth 20 kilometers to do an event for $300 a day. Like, those days were tough for me. I mean, I still can't understand how I was able to go through that, but I'm glad that I did, because that has made me to who I am today. Like, ranking in one of my podcast today, which is ranked is one of the top 5 podcasts in India, from a person who had no dreams, no goals, financial troubles, everything. But now everything is sorted. I'm doing great in life. But why did that happen? Because of that 1 year of gap and my self-awareness. Because I realized that if I have to succeed, man, I gotta pull my socks up. I gotta make sure that I can do what I'm supposed to do. So, fast forwarding, I finished that 1 year. I was doing a lot of my communication skills improve. And in the fourth year of engineering, right, when colleges basically come to hire fresh graduates. So I actually made an announcement during a placement training that I'll be the first person to get a job out of the entire people sitting here. Now that's a bold move, right? Imagine there are close to 100 people sitting in that class with a placement trainer, and that guy asked me, Irshad, what makes you think you will be the first person to get the job out of these guys? Whereas out of these guys, there are people who have 70, 80% of aggregate or percentage. And I was like a second class, and my aggregate even today is for 53%. I'm not ashamed of it because marks do not define you. I mean, this is very important. First, guys, education, especially our education today in India, is not something that we can be really, really proud of, right? It's broken actually. So the best kind of education you can have is your self-education, wherein you're learning from people, you're learning from books, you're learning from the best people out there in the market. So I made this announcement, and the guy asked me, Irshad, what makes you think you can do it? I said, I know because my communication skills, the way I talk to people, the way I can articulate things, I know I can do it. He's like, okay, we'll see when the time comes. And June 15th was the last day when we had our exams, June 15th, 2015. And June 22nd was my joining date at a company. I got a job as soon as I graduated 15th. As soon as I finished my exam, I gave my interview at a company, and I got shortlisted as a salesman for a company that deals with the US market, and I used to do inside sales. Now imagine a person who got rejected for basically a 7,000 rupees job for a call center, and they literally humiliated me saying you don't have your grammar is not on place, your communication skills are not good. Now getting a job at a company at a big MNC, they're paying a really good amount, and within a week I got a job. So how did that happen? That only happened because I was determined that I will do what I want to do. I was in place in terms of my discipline. I was sure this is what I want to do. I was writing things down, and I had a plan of action as to how I'm going to achieve those. Right. So guys, this was basically about me when it comes to self-improvement. Now, as I said, right, we'll divide this part into two. First one will be the self-improvement, and second one is going to be the part where we will talk about personal branding. So let me get back to personal. Okay, cool. So there's someone saying share this session on IGTV. Definitely, we will do that. I think we will have this to be. I'll let Tab Chief know so that they can do something about it. Now, going to personal brand, I'll give you top 3 tips, guys, for personal branding. First thing when it comes to personal branding is the brand. I mean, I cannot emphasize on this more, because for you to even do anything in life, to promote yourself, you need to have a brand. A brand could be anything. It could be a product, it could be a service, it could be, let's say, a podcast channel that I host. Anything. It could be anything. It could be a cookery, your YouTube channel, anything that you want. If you're into fitness industry, you have fitness expertise, as a matter of fact. But what you gotta do, you gotta make sure that you have a brand. So now, one tip that I'll give for people who want to start a brand: start with your passion. I know you've heard this like a million times: passion, passion, passion. But guys, I'm really serious about this. Start with your passion. Find out what you're really interested in, and select that specific field. Why? The reason is simple. If you select that field, there are gonna come times at you when you will not feel inspired, feel like doing something. If you're doing something that you don't like, eventually after 2 or 3 months or 6 months, you're gonna leave that thing. So don't do that. Be it as simple as teaching people English. It's fine, but make sure you're passionate about it, because you're not thinking of success 1 year or 2 years down the line. You're having a vision for 10 years, 20 years down the line. Have a vision what you're gonna be after 10 years. There's a very great saying by Tony Robbins. He says, we as individuals underestimate ourselves, what we can do in 10 years, and overestimate what we can do in 1 year. Like, if you think about it, it'll ring your bells. I mean, think about it. When we plan something for a year and we're not able to accomplish it, we say, man, see, I had this year goals, I did not accomplish it, I'm not going to do it altogether. No, don't do that. Reverse engineer. Think about where you want to be in 10 years first, and then divide that every year and then start working on it. And then again, don't worry about instant result, guys. Anybody who's ever been successful today, overnight success, people say like there is overnight success. There is no overnight success. People have actually put thousands of hours in those small videos before they even got famous. They have like literally hours of work. So don't go for a short-term goal. Have the long-term goal and then divide those into short-term goals. Start off with your passion first. And once you have a product ready, right now, just to make it easy for you guys, if you want to remember how to build a personal brand, I will again divide this, or let's say I'll divide this into 3 letters: P, W, T. P, as I said, it stands for passion and your brand. Whatever you're passionate about, start that brand. Don't wait for things to happen. Now is actually the time when you can actually start working on your dreams and goals. Why? Because you have time to sit at home, think about what you can do, and go after it. First thing is make sure that you have a brand. P, W. W, what does W stand for? W stands for why. Again, you've heard this like a million times, but this is going to be a reason behind the success of you and people who are competing against you. Your why, guys, has to be bigger than yourself. Again, very important, very, very important. Your why has to be bigger than yourself. For instance, let's say if you are in the fitness industry, you want to make a name in fitness industry, this is what you're offering. That's your brand, fitness industry and fitness expertise. But if you want to go or really succeed in this field, you've got to make sure that you have a vision wherein you're trying to help others. It has to be bigger than you. Otherwise, if you have that small narrow vision of this is what you want to do, you want to just do it for yourself, then you're going to make decisions that will benefit you and not the other person. So, initially, see, this is a mindset that we all have to combat. Initially, when I was starting something, I also had this like, how can I, start making money? How can I start making profit using my brand? Cool, it's fine. You need to make profit. But before profit, think about what value is your product or service going to add to other people. Base your why on that. Because if you base your why on the bigger purpose than yourself, then you'll see the real success. Because guys, let's say if I was here trying to pitch you a service or a product myself, you'd get that off easily. People can, our brain, our subconscious brain is very smart in those, because if somebody's trying to take advantage of you, you can, by intuition, you'll realize that okay, this guy is trying to just, cut a deal with me and trying to take money out of my pocket. You easily realize that. And then once you realize that, you don't want to talk to the person. The same way, if you have a brand and if you're trying to do the same thing on promoting the same content every single place, it's gonna hurt you bad. Don't do that. I'm repeating again, don't ever do that. Base it on value addition. Keep it as simple as that, as to what you are gonna do for the people. That is what's gonna make is gonna make the difference. And then the second thing, again, this is also very important. First thing is your why has to be based bigger than you. It has to be over you, right? It should be bigger than you. It should not be concerned with you. Second, it should be you. It should be, let me explain by what I mean by that. If you want to make profit out of your brand, which everybody wants at the end of the day, but that should be your second priority, not the first. If you keep your first priority as money and second priority as customer satisfaction, you just care about getting money onto the table, and then you'll never want customer feedback. So first thing, keep customers first. Second, keep yourself, keep your profits. Find out what you can do with your personal brand that can help you start making profits. That will actually help you, go to the next level of success, start making profit. Because if you go with the mindset where I just want to contribute, I mean, guys, no offense, but it's not Mother Teresa, right? Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi, they were people who had bigger dreams, who kept even their motives aside and wanted to contribute. Those guys are just from some other realm, I would say. But most of us, we actually want to make sure that we have a bread and butter. We can eat, we can do, provide a lifestyle to our family. So to do that, to create a situation where you actually win, two things. First, have a purpose which is bigger than yourself. Second, priority must be you. That's the second thing. So again, we have covered three letters when it comes to our personal branding. PWT. P stands for your passion. W stands for why, and T, which is the last and the most important, target. Target audience. Now, before even I start off on this is very crucial, guys. Anything that you start, you need to know your audience, how you can build an audience, or what kind of audience you can have, what kind of who are your audience base, what do they like hearing, what are their good, what are their bads, what they want to get from you. You need to understand your audience. Now, whenever you're starting a personal brand, I would say, start promoting yourself on different platforms and understand the audience. Now you can ask me like that. There are multiple uh, platforms out there today. There is LinkedIn, there is Facebook, there is Instagram, there is TikTok, there is Snapchat, there is Pinterest, whatnot. There are like multiple platforms. But you gotta understand what platform you wanna concentrate. Just select first two platforms that you want to target for the next 6 months. This is an advice that I got from one of my mentors. When I was interviewing him on my podcast, and he told me, Irshad, before you start making a personal brand, make sure that you target two platforms and go all in. Give 6 months at least in that platform. Start putting out content every day or once in 2 days. Make sure you're posting something that would add value to people. Start doing that. Now let's take for example, let's say if you have a product, a SaaS product, you can select any two specific platforms. It could be first thing, it could be let's say LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is an amazing platform for people who are basically who are entrepreneurs, who are content writers, or for people who are self-employed, right? So if you're self-employed, LinkedIn is a must, I would say, guys. Get a profile on LinkedIn, start promoting yourself on LinkedIn, put your content out. Don't give a damn about how many likes you're getting, because trust me, guys, it does not matter. If you continuously start putting out content day in, day out for next couple of days, couple of weeks, people are gonna notice. People are gonna see that, okay, this guy is continuously posting some content and he is making sense. That is when people start following you. You don't get overnight success saying you, irrespective of how good you are. If you start a LinkedIn profile and you post something amazing, that it is not necessary that your profile or your whatever post you have made is gonna go viral. It does not work that way. It does not. For that, you need to have people. You need to have network around you first to make sure people who are listening to you. So make sure you are targeting two. This is very important. Target two platforms every 6 months. It could be LinkedIn, Facebook. It could be TikTok, TikTok, Instagram. Choose the platform. Right now, again, if you choose platforms, understand what kind of audience you're getting into that. Right. For example, LinkedIn has a total different audience. For example, there are working class professionals, people who are highly educated, people who are actually making a lot of money, versus people on TikTok, right? Now, the audience in TikTok is totally different. The target audience is totally different there. Most of the people there you're going to find who are teens around 8, 9, 13, 14, 15 years old, 20 years old. And the research itself says that the people who use TikTok the most are between the age of 13 and 21. These are the guys who actually use TikTok a lot. So you need to understand, is your product gonna actually make sense for this particular platform? For example, if you have a SaaS product, a software as a service product, let's say a CRM, and you want to promote a CRM on LinkedIn versus promoting a CRM on TikTok, right? See, you have common sense, right? You can imagine where you may get more traction and more interest from. Obviously, it's LinkedIn, because you find those kind of people there. So understand, target two platforms every 2 quarters. Go all in it. Make sure you're putting in your content every single day. Don't worry about likes. I'm telling you, this is very important. Don't give a damn about how many likes, how many followers you're getting. Just worry about your content and you putting out, adding value to people's life. If you continue to do that, people will pick that up. People will realize, okay, this guy actually is interested in adding value and not just selling a product or service. Get that thing up in our heads, guys. We are almost coming to an end of the session, so again, I would like to wrap this up with the advices that I gave. When it comes to self-improvement, top three things you should remember. Remember these three letters: D, J, P. D stands for discipline, J stands for journaling, and P stands for making yourself the number one priority. That's for self-improvement. Making your own personal brand, again, three letters: P, W, T. P stands for your passion, W stands for your why, T stands for the target audience and the platform that you're going to select. these 6 things, these 6 practical tips that I've told you, if you genuinely, with your wholeheartedly involve or implement this in your life, I can guarantee you that you're gonna see success within the next 6 or 9 months. That is something that has worked for myself. When I started my podcast 8 months ago, I did not know where to start from. But what happened? I started interacting with people. I started asking for tips. I started talking to my mentors, and they gave me ideas. And today, it's ranked one of the top 5 podcasts in India. The reason being, I'm interacting with these highly effective people who are actually making sense, right? These highly effective people sharing their live ideas, sharing what made them successful. Now, when we learn ideas like that and implement those in our lives, dude, we can achieve amazing success. Imagine, for example, I interviewed this guy named Dave Matson, who is the CEO of Sander Training. Now, Sander Training is like one of the world's best companies when it comes to sales training, right? So when I interviewed that guy, Dave Matson, he told me, Irshad, one tip that he gave me, I asked him, what advice do you have for people who want to become really successful? So he told me one thing, saying, Irshad, make sure that if you are workaholic, do it at night. Like imagine, do it at night so that you are not hampering or your relationships with your wife or your kids. If you're workaholic, work at night. Work when no one's watching. If you're really passionate towards building something, you will find a way. Otherwise, you'll find excuses as to why you're not able to do it. And people really don't care about excuses, guys. So make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do and implement these top 6 practical tips that I've shared with you. This is something that the world-class leaders like Tim Ferriss, Lewis House, name any specific person, they have shared those tips. So if you implement this, you will definitely find success. Now, before we wrap this up, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, we will end the session. I'm just checking if somebody have asked any questions. Meanwhile, thank you for people who have liked what I have to say. I just wanted to contribute. Guys, any questions? I can give like, let's say 10-15 seconds and we can see if you guys have any questions for me. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, looks like we don't have any questions. So before we go, I would tell you guys, listen to the podcast that I have, The Growth Mindset with Silawath Irshad. You can find this in almost all the platforms like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all the platforms that are outside today, right? The Growth Mindset with Silawath Irshad. You can listen. The best thing about podcasts is you can listen to it wherever you are, while multitasking. You could be cooking and listening. You could be going out to the gym, working out in the gym, and start listening to the podcast. How this would help you, basically, is to make sure that you're gonna implement every single time you're gonna listen to a podcast. You're gonna learn something from an expert who has, let's say, 30-40 years of experience, and he's sharing his tips to you. Like, those are his hacks. 30 years of experience he's giving you within 30 minutes. That 30 minutes is gonna be power packed. So make sure that you it could not just be my podcast. See, again, what matters is making sure you are working on yourself. So get that thing done. Let us also connect. You can connect with me on multiple platforms. You can connect with me on Facebook. I have a page there called The Growth Mindset. If you find that, just click on The Growth Mindset and you can we can connect there. You can also connect with me on Instagram. I have my handle. The Tap Chief has my profile there. With my handle, it's at Silawath_Irshad. You can find me there. And make sure to subscribe to the Growth Mindset podcast, because end of the day, I want to make sure that all of us are succeeding in what we're doing. Before we go, I see we have a question here. How do we promote our contents? Okay, Manjunath. Now that totally depends, Manju, as to how you want to promote your content. What product do you have first? You need to understand that. If you have a product that is online, let's say, I'll just give a live example of, let's say, a podcast. This is something which is on the cloud, on the website, or we don't have physical podcast coming up to you, right? It's over the net, so it's over cloud. If you have something like that, the best platform for you as of now is gonna create, I'm going back to the same that I told, because I know this is important. Targeting two platforms. It could be LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and then post continuously. Use hashtags. Continuously use hashtags to make sure that Now again, when it comes to hashtag, you gotta decide what kind of hashtags you gotta select. For example, whenever you select a hashtag, right, start with the lowest. So let's say if you're seeing a hashtag which has 1,000 plus posts, select that first, and then mix it up with 1,000, 10,000, then 1 lakh, or then 1 million. Don't start off with 1 million hashtag first, because then you're gonna compete with that 1 million people. So you don't want to compete with a lot of different people, wherein your content has to fight with other great content marketers out there. So make sure you select 2 platforms where you want to do that, and then promote that to your social media platforms. Tell it to your friends. Tell them to spread this to different people. I think that's the best way to go across it. Okay, guys, I think we have no more questions. So I would like to wrap this session up by thanking again Tachi for having me here, and all of you guys who joined me. Let's stay connected. As I said, you can find me on all the different platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Let's stay connected and let's grow and work together. This is Silawath, Irshad, host of the Growth Mindset podcast, signing off.